Welcome to UGC CEC online lecture series. I am Dr. Divya Verma Gakhar, Assistant Professor in Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University, University School of Management Studies, Delhi. In the series of lectures related to financial management, today we are going to talk about working capital management. As we have discussed about that there are three important decisions in a company, like financing decision, investment decision, and dividend decision. In the investment decision, we are dealing with two parts of the decision, two aspects of investment. One is short-term investment, another one is long-term investment. Short-term investment relates with working capital management, and the tools which are available for long-term investment decision are known as capital budgeting decisions or capital budgeting tools. So in this series, in today's lecture, we are going to talk about working capital management and its important components and how these components can be managed well with various tools which are available in the subject of financial management. So friends, talking about working capital management, when a company has collected the funds from various sources of finance, it has decided that okay, this is our business objective and this is how we are going to run our business. Now, at the time of investment of the funds which have been collected in the form of capital by the company, a company has to decide that okay, how much of these funds are going to be used for current assets, for purchase, for routine management of the business, and how much would be used for investment in the fixed assets of the company. So in the balance sheet of a company, there are two, on the asset side, you can see two major components. One is fixed assets, then the surplus funds is investments, and third component is your current assets. So there are major three components of current assets. One is cash and bank balance which a company has. Second component is your debtors, that is the amount of sales which the company has made on credit. So these are those customers who are going to pay back to the company after a certain number of days. So selling goods on credit creates debtors for the company. And that is also a big amount which is there in the balance sheet of the company. And third important component of current assets is your inventories. Inventory is the amount of stock which the company maintain for the routine, let's say, manufacturing and other processes of the company. Similarly, on the liability side of the balance sheet of a company, we have got long-term liabilities, which includes equity capital, debentures, long-term secured and unsecured loans. Then there are current liabilities. These current liabilities are all those payments which have to be made by the company within a period of 1 year. So basically, working capital management would involve decisions related to or management of current assets and current liabilities. So current assets are those assets which will be converted into cash within 1 year time. And current liabilities are those liabilities of the company which has to be paid back within 1 year. Or these are short-term liabilities which need to be paid as and when the due date will come for them. So management of current assets and current liabilities would ensure the effective working capital management of the company. So working capital management by basic definition is the management of routine capital of the company. How well the company is able to manage the capital, the short-term finances of the company in such a way that it is able to, optimize the amount of money, optimize the amount of resources which they have, and also ensuring that the short-term solvency of the company is maintained. So that's what we have to ensure in working capital management. So basically, current assets and current liabilities, if their management is well maintained by the company, so we say that working capital management is efficient for the company. So current assets being those assets which will be converted into cash within 1 year. That means these are the inflows of the company, and current liabilities are all those payments which need to be made within a period of 1 year. That means these are all outflows of the company. So if the inflows and outflows are managed in such a way that with the timing of inflows is such that whenever an outflow has to be there, inflow is already available. So then you would require, as a company, you would require less cash balance to be maintained at any point of time. And that will ensure that, lesser amount of cash availability or lesser amount of money which is available in the form of working capital is to be required by the company, so that day-to-day payments are timed in such a manner, inflows are managing the outflows, so cash balance requirement of the company is low. So that is why we see that very big companies, they have very minimum cash balance and bank balance. Then how they are managing their business? So they are managing their business by timing of the inflows and outflows. So they have timed their inflows in such a manner that it is before the outflows. So as and when money comes, it is used for making the payments to for the outflows or the payments which are due to the suppliers and other creditors which are there for the company. So in such a way, by maintaining even a lesser cash balance, the companies are able to run very well. Now there are various perspectives to and why we need to manage working capital in such a way. It has got various perspectives which we need to understand. So how much minimum cash balance or minimum balance a company needs to maintain for day-to-day management of payments and due dates and cash balance they need to maintain is a critical aspect. Why? Because it is going to affect the credit worthiness of the company. If a company is not able to make the payments on time, then its credit worthiness, let's say it's not able to make the payment of salaries or payment of electricity bills or payment to their suppliers, so it is going to affect the image of the company or the way people perceive about the company. The credit worthiness of the company will be affected. So company cannot afford to delay or default in payment of short-term creditors. So to maintain the credit worthiness, it is important that a company has enough cash balance so that its payments are made on time. Second aspect to this is that if a company maintains huge amount of surplus fund in the form of cash and bank balance so that all its payments get paid on time and there is no default in the short-term solvency of the company, that also is a problem, because idle cash does not give you any returns. So it is going to affect the profitability of the company. So any company which has huge amount of surplus cash, it quickly invests it in some short-term securities, marketable securities, or invested it for a medium to long-term investments, so that ideal cash should earn some returns on it, because it is going to affect the profitability of the company. So that is another important consideration, that if a company is maintaining ideal cash or keeping a lot of money in the bank balance, it is going to affect the profitability, so that's also not a good idea. So that means it is a critical decision. It is an important decision for a manager to decide that, okay, on a monthly basis, how much cash balance or bank balance or quick convertible securities need to be maintained by the company, so that effective working capital is ensured, so that neither we are losing on profitability and nor we are our credit worthiness is getting affected. So that is the beauty of this working capital management decision, and that is why it is an important decision for a manager to decide and to find out that, okay, so on routine basis, it is the day-to-day task which he has to perform in terms of how much working capital or how much the surplus cash they need to manage on the daily basis. Now we can understand this from the perspective of our own lives, in our daily life, because as it is, we are also doing day-to-day management of our lives. So as an individual, if we look at how working capital management concepts are relevant to us as an individual in our routine life. Now as an individual, we have some sources of income. Let's say we are salaried and we are in our business, we are getting a regular income on, let's say, 1st of every month. And then during the month, whatever income we have, we try to spend it in terms of various expenditure, in terms of various expense head which we have to make. For example, we have to pay a lot of bills, we have to pay electricity bill, telephone bill. So we see that what are the due dates of these bills, and we ensure that the payment is made on time. Apart from that, we have to pay rents, we have to pay let's say some loan EMIs. So we have to ensure that, you know, whenever a loan EMI is due, there should be enough bank balance in our account. So the timing of our loan EMI should be after the inflow of, let's say, salary. So that is a good management. Then, so that is one, that, you know, how much monthly expense. So we make a budget. So likewise, a company will also make a budget for working capital, that, you know, how much is the monthly expense and which are the dates on which those expenses have to be made. Then we have to spend on groceries, we have to spend on you know, maintaining our lifestyle, we have to make certain expenses, buy certain things, buy certain small assets which are current assets, buy some stock. So all of this is ensured, and we plan for it, we budget for it, and accordingly we see that, you know, how much is the surplus cash at the end of the month. So that surplus cash need not to be kept as surplus. Maybe it is invested in some small saving, or in some other kind of saving instruments or investment instruments, so that we also not lose on profitability. So that is how an individual will manage his, you know, bank balance or the income inflows and outflows. So during the month, how the outflows are timed, that is important. What are the dates on which you get the inflow of funds, that is important. And then ensuring the surplus cash to be invested on the monthly basis or on daily basis, that has to be seen by an individual for our routine working capital management. Apart from that, we have to also ensure that you know, for the effective working capital management, you know, let's say on daily basis, how an individual or how a student does the working capital management. Let's say you are going to the college and you are looking at that, okay, how much money I need to carry in my pocket today in the form of cash. Will you carry 5,000 rupees? No. You will see that, you know, during the day what kind of expenses you're going to make. Based on that, you will decide, okay, whether I am going to carry 500 rupees or 1,000 or 2,000 rupees in my bank, in my pocket today when I'm going to university or college. Now it depends on that, you know, how much you're going to spend during the day. Maybe you will go to the canteen, maybe you have to buy a book, maybe you have to buy something for a friend, or you have to let's say, you know, make some payment of you have to, you know, refuel your metro card, or you have to refuel petrol in your car. So all of these things you will plan in advance, and then accordingly you will see that, okay, how much surplus cash you need to carry. So you will not only carry the amount of cash which you are sure that you are going to spend during the day. Apart from that, you will also carry something for contingencies. What if, you know, there is some expenses which I have to make which is unforeseen? So you'll carry some little more money. Similarly, at home also you'll keep some little extra cash, so that to meet some exigencies, to meet some unforeseen circumstances which come up, like medical emergencies or something like this, to ensure that, you know, your cash balance, your bank balance have some scope of managing your routine expense, as well as some exigencies or contingencies, or some unforeseen expenses that can come up, as well as it also, you know, ensure that some amount of money gets saved or invested at the end of the month. That is how you plan your income and expenses, and this is what working capital management is all about. So looking at this aspect of working capital management from a company's perspective, and applying certain tools and techniques for managing this working capital for a company, is what we are going to discuss in financial management topic of working capital management. Now, from a company's perspective, what is working capital management? So working capital management is management of capital which is required on routine basis for day-to-day working or functioning of the company. Now, if we look at the definition of working capital management, it is the amount of funds which is necessary to cover the cost of operating the enterprise of the company. Now, conceptually talking about the concept of working capital, there are two concepts of working capital. One is gross working capital, and other is net working capital concept. Gross working capital is sum total of funds invested in current assets. So sum total of current assets is known as gross working capital of a company. What is net working capital? Net working capital is the difference between current assets and current liabilities. So the difference is the amount of money which a company should maintain in as a bank balance or a cash balance, so that all its payments are made on time. Then another way of defining working capital is categorization of working capital into permanent working capital and temporary working capital. So permanent working capital is some fixed amount of cash or bank balance or liquid capital which a company would maintain all the time, which is a kind of permanent expense. For example, for our household, if we see, are some fixed expense. So there are some fixed expense for us as individuals, which we know that on monthly basis, this is the minimum expenses I have to make to maintain a lifestyle. So that means that much amount of surplus cash you should always have. So that is your permanent working capital. Then there is temporary working capital. Temporary working capital is that working capital which is not necessarily permanent in nature, but it is once in a while kind of expense which a company has to make. So during certain months when some payments are heavily to be made, so during that time you will find that the temporary working capital requirement would be huge as compared to those months where you don't have to make any payments, or you don't have to buy raw material or make certain other extra expenses. So during those months, temporary working capital requirement will be low. So a mix of permanent working capital, so that means some minimum balance which you should always maintain, that is permanent working capital. And temporary working capital is based on monthly adjustment of your expenses and the kind of payments you have to make. You decide about the temporary working capital. What is the relevance of the concept of working capital? Why it is important? So talking about the relevance of working capital management, it is very important for the solvency of the business. A business to remain solvent, to remain moving on and being a going concern, we have to see that all our payments are obliged on time. A company doesn't default. So if we have low credit worthiness, or if we have our image that we are a defaulter, so sooner or later we'll find that our customers, our supplier, they're going to lose us. So in that sense, solvency of a company is very, very important to ensure good working capital management. Goodwill of the company is related to working capital. So those companies which are able to oblige their payments on time, which have never defaulted on any small payments for all the creditors, and is able to do well in business just because they have enough stock available on the shelves of retail stores where people can go and buy those stuff. So that also ensures brand value, that also ensures goodwill of the company, and image of the company improves in the eyes of all stakeholders. Cash discounts can be availed if we have enough working capital. Sometimes there are offers by suppliers where if you buy in bulk, you are able to buy some things at cheaper rate. So in that case, if you maintain a good amount of working capital, you have enough cash balances available. So as and when some opportunity comes where you can avail some cash discount and make payment in the form of cash and avail a discount, it is always a good idea to avail such discount for a company. Regular supply of raw material can be ensured by adequate working capital management, because working capital management is also related to inventory management. So if your supply of raw material is ensured, then your production will never stop and there will be no disturbance in the production for ensuring regular payments. So if you have good working capital, then your payments will be regular and on time. You'll be able to exploit favorable market conditions. So any good opportunities, any collaborations, any kind of discounts, as and when it come in the form of trade discount or cash discount or some other advantage, you can always avail if you ensure good cash management or good working capital management. It is easy for such companies who have good working capital management to get short-term loans. So if your image is good in the market, you are credit worthy, then you will have your chances of getting loans anytime in future will increase. Ability to face crisis, if any unforeseen circumstances come, if there is a situation where things are beyond your control. At that point of time, in any crisis, accident, or any kind of damage that has happened to your company, if you maintain cash balance or bank balance, if you have liquidity available with you, then it is a good working capital management style. What are the factors that affect the working capital requirement of a company? Working capital requirement of a company is based on various factors like nature of business, what kind of business you are into. If you are into a manufacturing concern or a service company, so for a manufacturing concern, whether you are into manufacturing of such a product where your work in progress cycle, or stages from raw material stage to the finished product stage is longer, in that case your working capital requirement will increase. But if you are in a manufacturing of a product where the work in progress time from the production stage to the finished goods stage is shorter, in that case your working capital requirement can be low. Size of business. So larger companies, bigger companies may require more working capital as compared to smaller companies. So size of company definitely would determine how much working capital or enough cash balance you need to maintain. Seasonality of operations. There are certain products which are seasonal in operation in terms of manufacturing as well as in terms of sales. So for a let's say garment manufacturing company which is into winter garments, so winter garments would be sold during the winter season. At that time the inflows will be high, but the production of winter garments maybe is continuing throughout the year. So for those months which are lean period of sales, at that time a company would require more working capital as compared to those periods where those months where the sales is more. For example, ACs, air conditioners, and other things which are related to summer season. So you will find the sales of ACs, refrigerators, coolers will increase during summer season as compared to winter season. So then the company need to manage the arrangement of fund during those months. Length of the production cycle. How long is your production cycle? If it is production cycle is 2 days or 5 days or 1 month, let's say for steel companies, for cement companies, the production cycle is a little longer, so they require working capital for making payments on time little more as compared to other. Your working capital cycle. Working capital cycle is your cash to cash cycle. The day you invest some cash in buying the raw material to the day your sales are converted into cash. So what is that time period? So that is important to decide. Then your credit policy, how many number of days you allow your debtors to make the payment. That is important in determining how much working capital you need to maintain, how much excess cash you need to maintain. So longer is this cycle, larger is the amount of working capital. Condition of raw material supply. Whether the raw material which your company buys is available throughout the year or is it a seasonal raw material. For example, those companies which are into FMCG, food grain related products, you know that wheat and other such food articles are available during certain months during harvest season at a cheaper rate as compared to rest of the month. So companies like Nestle, Britannia, which use raw material of wheat, rice and other pulses, so they would carry huge amount of inventory of raw material because during harvest season it is available cheaper as compared to rest of the months. Rate of stock turnover. How quickly is your stock turnover in terms of how quickly you are able to sell, how quickly you are able to your finished good get converted into sales, and so that also, and how quick is your production cycle. So all of these things together also will determine how much working capital you require, depends on your production and sales. So keeping in view all of these aspects of working capital management, we'll continue in the next lecture about the financing of working capital and the working capital cycle and other aspects of working capital.